What's up everybody, this is Danny, and today I'm super excited to share with you my experiences with the brand new OnePlus 3. I've been using it for about 24 hours now, so let's not waste any time, get straight into the unboxing, go over all the stuff that's new, and see why this could potentially be the most important phone released this year, priced at only $399 unlocked. In the box you get the phone of course, and I have the graphite model here, but there will be a soft gold model, and the presentation game is once again strong with this OnePlus 3. This part here is hard plastic, and inside of that sleeve you get some documentation just in case you need a quick reference guide, and you also get some awesome OnePlus stickers. That's a nice touch. Underneath that there is a USB to USB Type-C cord, and you also get the new Dash Charge power brick that allows you to fast charge your OnePlus 3. That was one of my big gripes about the OnePlus 2, and now you can quick charge your 3000 mAh battery to over 60% in 30 minutes. That's good stuff. Let's boot this thing up for the first time while we talk about these monster specs. I mean, inside there is a Snapdragon 820 processor with a ridiculous 6 GB of RAM. Yup, you heard that right, 6 GB, with 64 GB of UFS 2.0 storage and the Adreno 530 GPU and your usual sensors. And get ready for it, NFC is back. We can also celebrate again because the invite system now is finally gone. You can buy right now. Boom. You also get an improved fingerprint scanner on the bottom of the device with capacitive buttons flanking each side, and you can use software keys if you like that more. But let me tell you something, this fingerprint scanner is one of the fastest sensors that I've ever used on a phone. It's literally instantaneous and very accurate. It's mind-blowing. You'll just be unlocking for fun. Let's take a deeper look at the hardware. This year you get a full unibody anodized aluminum metal design instead of the plastic removable backplate that was on the OnePlus 2, and for me this is a welcome change, but some might miss the replaceable backs, and I can see that. And you may miss the legendary sandstone finish, but you can bring that back with some cases that they offer, and they make an assortment of them, and I'm sure skins will be made, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Just as you would expect, this thing feels amazing in the hand. It's solidly built, no creaks, it's not too heavy, it's only 7.35 millimeters thin with subtle curves on the back, and the 2.5D glass on the front also make for a really good feel in the hand. The only downside of this thin profile is there's a pretty large camera bump on the back of the device with a case that should be covered up, but let me know what you guys think of this design choice. The buttons and ports are in the same place as the previous model, where you'll find the power button on the right side with the dual SIM card tray, and sorry there's no micro SD card expansion here to be found, but this phone is unlocked for all carriers out of the box. The opposite side has that same brilliant 3-stage alert slider that lets you change your notification preferences on the fly, and the volume rocker switch. All of these buttons feel solid with good feedback. On the bottom there's a single speaker that sounds pretty good, by the way. I was hoping for some front firing speakers, but at least it isn't weak on output. There's a USB-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. I guess that now is a feature, right? First glance at the hardware, right away I can see people saying, this looks like an iPhone. This looks like an HTC phone. But if you really want to get specific, I would say it looks scary close to the Huawei Mate S. The display is a 5.5-inch 1080p AMOLED display, and they are calling it the Optic AMOLED display, which has a dual polarizing layer that makes outdoor visibility easier, and so far I find that to be accurate. Even with the pre-installed screen protector, this display gets bright. No problem seeing it in the daylight. Colors are extremely punchy and saturated, it looks sharp, and while it's not a Quad HD panel, and I know some of you will complain, I think a high quality 1080p panel can be more efficient, especially with battery life. One thing that I know for sure, that this display is miles better than the OnePlus 2 display. It's got good viewing angles and super thin bezels. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Performance wise, this thing is a beast on paper. Of course the Snapdragon 820 is a great SoC, but 6 GB of RAM is crazy, and if you're a benchmark junkie, this Antutu score is one of the highest that I have seen so far. It is for sure a step above the last phone with a better multi-core score and a much higher single-core score. So far, performance is awesome, animations are fluid, apps open fast, and combined with this near-stock Oxygen Android OS based off of Android Marshmallow, this phone looks extremely promising. Of course, I will follow up to see how performance is after using it for a few weeks as a daily driver, but man, on first impressions, it's quick. If you've used Oxygen OS before or you like stock Android, this will be very familiar to you. You have the shell feature that gives you shortcuts to your latest used apps, contacts, and memos, and the overall skin is very minimal, which I love. What I love more is the level of customizations here, where you can enable dark mode, which I always turn on immediately. You can change your accent color, customize your LED notification light colors, and so much more. And most importantly, no crazy bloatware or extra software. Clean and simple. The thing that people probably care about the most are the new cameras, and are they any good? On the front, you get an 8-megapixel Sony IMX179 front-facing camera capable of 1080p video, and on the back, you get a 16-megapixel Sony IMX298 sensor with f2.0 aperture and optical image stabilization, and so far the images look promising. The camera app is simple and easy to use, the shutter is nice and fast, and burst mode is super quick. You can take 20 photos in no time. You can change the aspect ratio from here, which I chose the wide 16:9 option. There's auto HDR and an HD mode where it does some software magic to increase the sharpness, and there are a bunch of modes here on the left like slow motion and panorama, but the one I like the most is the manual mode where you have full control of focus, shutter speed, white balance, and ISO. Sadly, the video mode has none of these features, but you can toggle between resolutions all the way up to 4K video, which looks good so far. Here are some sample photos that I took, and the images, they look nice so far, so let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. The only issue I saw were some macro focusing issues, and sometimes it would hunt for focus, but you can always use manual focusing, and I'm sure this will be resolved in a future update. I'm digging the photos so far, and even though that this camera isn't perfect, I need some more time with it before I make a full decision on it. So on first impressions, I really like what I'm seeing here. So what do you guys think of the new OnePlus 3? Is it a game changer? And does this no invite system with a affordable $399 price tag, which is easily $300 cheaper than its flagship competition, make this a no-brainer for you to buy? I think this is the best product that OnePlus has put together in their history, and they are solidifying their place in the smartphone industry as the company to give you that true flagship for a fraction of the cost. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what other kind of coverage you'd like to see on the OnePlus 3 in the future. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter @SuperScientific if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next video.